first I'm going to prime my face. I am going to use my Guerlain gold one because it tightens and firms up the face. Before I do that, I'm going to do my Dr. Brandt Pores No More. And I'm going to pop that right in my problem area. So I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, which is my absolute favorite. I'm in the shade 2. I'll just put a little bit of foundation on the back of this and just kind of tap it out. But again, with my sponge, you always want to dampen your beauty sponge. Squish it when it's underwater so it expands. It should double in size. And then what you want to do is wring it out so there's no excess water in it. Now I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape, my all-time favorite. I am in the shade Fair because I like a little bit of a highlighted look, and when you use this white, you just gotta get even whiter. So they have a great shade range, and the quality and coverage in this is beautiful. Skin, holy hot, I can't do that anymore. Can't do it. And always use a scrunchie, especially when your hair's wet. You really don't want to be pulling it up in a bun like I'm about to do, because the tension is the weakest when it's wet. But if you're gonna do it super loose or braid it down. And then I just do like a quick little roundabout. I know, you guys are like, man, how did Danny get so lucky? He's blessed. He is blessed, all right? Depending on your skin type, if you are oily, I like this method. I like to take a setting powder, any kind. So I've got the RC Mano Color. What I like to do with this, I like to bake my area. So I like to put it on my damp sponge, and I like to take it, I've got very fine lines up here. Then I take the pointier part. And I do that. So I literally let that set for a minute. And if you're oily, I would highly recommend baking all your super oily spots, letting the powder literally sit there and let it do its thing. So then I take like a darker powder. It's like my foundation color. This is LA goodness gracious, LA Girl Pro Face Powder. And I like to take this down my neck, because I don't like to take liquid foundations down my neck. I just find that they look streaky and heavy, and I don't need that. But I am super pink all over, especially after I've taken a hot shower and I continue to stay in a hot bathroom. So what I do is I like to bring this down my face, because we don't need two different tones here. Like I said, if you're oily, definitely do this. Essence makes a great mattifying pressed powder. So after this, you could take your sponge, which I love using sponges for dry powders too, or pressed powders, doing it in the center of my T-zone, my face. I do that on a lot of brides. And I find that this, between baking and using that mattifying powder, I love it. So I have the LA Girl, I love these powders. These are at like Walgreens, CVS, awesome. But I do like my MAC Light Plus is the shade Mineralized Skin Finish Powder. It's almost gone. What I like to do is I like to kind of pat, and I always use patting motions just because I find that it doesn't disturb. I don't know about you, but I've had it before where I've gotten my powder and then I look under my foundation's moved and it's like less coverage somewhere and it looks just weird. So I kind of just push in that remaining powder, and then I take my sponge and I press it into my powder like so, and I just pat it all over my face, pop off. Because it was sweating so much that I wouldn't have been able to do any more face, like skin products. So I went and did my eyebrows, which, can we just get a minute? As you saw before, I didn't have any on when I started, and these took me 5 minutes for both. And that's what I'm gonna write on my gratitudes page tonight before bed. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. Every night before bed, I write down my 10 gratitudes of the day. You better believe this is gonna be like number 2 or 3. Next to quality time with my kids, you know. They're first. Anyway. Gosh, it's just makeup, Kayla. I mean, no one cares. Anywho, okay. You're probably like, your lashes don't look any different. I know, I don't have any, so I pretty much just put mascara on my waterline. Anyway. So I'm going to take the Butter Bronzers, love them. Obviously this one's gone. This is light bronzer. And I take my Morphe, they don't have names on these. This is their face collection. See how it's like slightly angled like that? I love this for contouring. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be a blush brush. But it's like you put it here and it's a perfect contour. Like this line down here chisels it out and does the work for you. I'm telling you, the better tools you have, the better everything. Like it does the work for you, and there's a reason why you can only be as good as your tools at times, okay? If you're playing with your fingers, you're not gonna get that airbrush finish, ladies, okay? So as you can see, it just like lays that perfect little contour shadow. It just is, mwah, could kiss you, I just did. Cutting that out, I mean, it's such a quick thing. I'm like, gonna usually, I'll have to do my makeup. I'll go live for this one day, but normally I have Isaac right here. I'm balancing him with my stomach, and he's right here. And I'm balancing him, and he's playing with my toothbrushes, he's playing with my brushes, he's playing with whatever, but I'm balancing him because where do your kids want to be all the time? Moms, not dads, moms. Especially when you have to get ready, they want to be back inside your womb. They want to be in you, on you. They don't leave, and they can sense it. The more frustrated and upset you get at them, the more clingy they get. Trust me. Try to ignore them. See what happens. What I do is, this is just like light contouring, but I always take whatever I have left on my brush and I kind of just chisel out my nose a little bit because I don't want like this white nose in the center of my face, and the rest of my face is, you know, whatever, tanner. So now I'm gonna take the Butter Bronzer in the darker shade and take my stippling brush, and this just kind of helps disperse the product and blend it so you don't see any kind of harsh lines. We don't want any harsh lines, ladies. It just kind of blurs everything out and blends the two together, and just helps to bring a little bit more, because the other color that I used is more of like a neutral contouring shade. This isn't like a bronze. There's a difference between a contour shade and a bronzer, ladies. I know. I'm going to take my Laura Geller blush, which I love this one right now because it's pink, brightener, and a bronzer, so it's kind of like, it just gives me a little extra pop on my cheeks. But it's not too harsh. And for like lighter everyday, I really like this one. It's very natural looking, and you could just use this one with a stippling brush all over your face, but I'm sorry, I want to be a little bit lighter, a little skinnier looking. So I like to add a little bit of a contour, but I absolutely love this blush. Literally, that's all you need. What I've been liking to do lately, I take my Amrezy and Anastasia highlighter, and I take my tapered highlighting brush, and I take, where did you go? Where are you? I know. Oh, here we go. Laura Geller Universal. So I took this, I told you guys about this one last week, and it just has like a really pretty sheen to it. So I find that if I mix this guy, if I put this one on with a tap of that, it's like the prettiest glow from within highlighting combo right now. So I like to highlight everywhere because I'm not oily and greasy. I'm sweaty, but not. I like to do it there, and that's kind of what I've been doing right now because I have like these little crow's feet right here, and if I put some highlighter in there, they'd be emphasized. So let me see how I'm looking. Okay, not too shabby. Not too shabby, ladies. Okay, and then I just take my stippling brush, and I just blend everything back together. So I just use this to blend all of the blush, highlighter, bronzer together to make it less in your face. And then I spray some setting spray, which is a setting spray. It's a Makeup Forever one. That just helps set everything in the skin. Everything is going to set inside the skin, melts in together versus sitting on top of the skin, which makes things look cakey. And then we fan, ladies, we fan. Then my go-to gloss is this, the Rimmel Stay Glossy. Oh, fudge, I just woke up the kids. It's all over now. Blushing Belgraves, I've talked about this one before. Oh, it feels so good. Okay, and I put this one. This is like the best go-to if you're going to work, if I'm just going to the fountains in the park, you better believe there's even no makeup on from last night, not face makeup, but like leftover eyebrows and lashes, or spot concealing and mascara and a little bit of brow gel, and that's it. But if I have somewhere to be and go, if I've got meetings, if I've got clients, plus my day-to-day stuff, this is what I tend to go towards and lean towards, because it gives me a very flawless finish without being too much and not taking too much time. So anyway, thanks for getting ready with me. I hope you enjoyed. Come back for more later. So creepy. Why would you say it like that? No one's gonna come back. Anyway, thanks guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.